There will come a time when the curse of the one above will not be tolerated further, when the lineage of Cain will end, when the blood of Cain will be weak, and there will be no embracing for these children. For their blood will run like water, and the potence in it will wither. Then you know in this time that Gehenna will soon be upon you. Hello, and welcome to Dire Bear. It's Tuesday night, so that of course means it's our Vampire the Masquerade campaign, Valley by Night, or I should say Chronicle. I'll be your GM for the evening, Jason from over at the Nerd Eternal Network. And joining me as usual will be Decca playing Blackjack, Eric playing Samuel, Rap playing Maeve, Sarah playing Jolene, and joining us from back behind Rap will be Duba playing Alexander. Let's see, where did we leave off last week?
Driving by a murder scene. Yeah.
Some people found a body.
And we let Samuel know that.
Yeah.
Hey, Samuel, you want to see a dead body?
Yeah. Samuel was informed. He called Luke, told Luke about it, said that, hey, some of your officers have already found this before my coterie did. And that, oh yeah, this was a poach in my territory.
Yes. This is the first you've had 3 attacks. You had a murder of a kind outside of your domain. There was a Toreador assaulted, who is not that y'all are on friendly terms, particularly, or really even particularly knowing, but he was basically a neighbor. Mm-hmm. You know, he had a block or two that was kind of his personal little domain. And now you've had this murder actually inside the borders of your domain.
Yep.
Was it like where relative? Is it like literally on the border? Is it like close to my farm? Is it close to his area?
Let's see.
If it's close to my farm, I'm going feral.
No, the Toreador's domain was, well, poop, I forget exactly. I want to say it was kind of to the southwest of your domain.
Oh no, I meant this one that's going on right now. This one that we drove by.
Oh, it's not exactly far from your domain or from your farm, but not like super close. I mean, it's
like over by Steelwood.
No, it was kind of here by the.
Wasn't it near the shopping mall?
Yeah, it was near the shopping. It wasn't in the shopping center proper.
It's like on the Valley Bend.
But yeah, well, yeah.
So we were like on this highway right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is Carl T. Jones.
Yes.
So that's right next to your farm.
So yeah, it's fairly close, but it's around a shopping center, not around the the actual farmlands.
Okay. So it was ostensibly a city boy that got or a city person that got murked.
Yes, it was a woman, I believe.
Yes.
Yes, a woman.
Let's see.
She was like a waitress or whatever, or
somebody who worked at one of the
woman
shopping
in an
centers.
apron, probably a worker.
Yes.
So yeah.
Just to go over last time, let's see. I mentioned the Toreador that was attacked. That was Howard Trudeau.
Mm-hmm.
He had given y'all a slight description, or given Samuel one. Samuel, using his disciplines, managed to get a vision of the attacker entering a club. Turned out it was Maeve's club. She saw him being a bit of a creep with the ladies. And threw him out. Being suspicious of him, and I think having gotten the description from Samuel is what made her suspicious. She followed him. He wound up leading her into an alley and attacking her. Seemed surprised when he grabbed her that she was cold. They had a brief exchange. When Blackjack showed up, the attacker ran. They took her to the hospital. So there is like paperwork that she was attacked.
She also has a job, so it's fine.
Yeah. The job knows she was attacked. She'll need to walk around with, even after she's healed it up. She'll need to walk around with the bandages on her arms for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. And then
Actually, I think we all have jobs. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
Then you were taking Jolene home, which is when y'all passed, or got passed by the cops. Y'all decided to see what was up, and you passed by this other crime scene.
Mm-hmm.
And that was all on Tuesday, January 15th.
Yep.
Technically, if it's midnight already, it's probably gonna be it's Wednesday now.
Yeah.
Well, we're jumping now to when you were awaking
Sure.
Wednesday night.
Oh, you're jumping ahead to another day now.
Right. Just the following. You were on your way home. It was getting fairly close to
Okay,
dawn.
so yeah, we already dropped everybody off. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
you know, it
Okay,
was-
cool. So yeah, then we'll be
Rouse
doing route checks.
checks.
Yes.
So yes, I will need rouse checks from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I finally get hungry. My first hunger of the game.
Duba, if you haven't
round
messed with the
3.
sheets much, it's the bottom, on the very bottom of the sheet, there's a button for rouse.
Jesus Christ, we're all getting hungry.
All of us need a burger.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm at 3 hunger.
Same, you.
Didn't you just feed last night?
Yeah, but then she roused.
And then the fighting,
Oh, yeah.
and when I roused, I got hungry.
And you'll probably need to rouse some more to heal those wounds.
He critted that rouse.
Yeah.
Nice first roll.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding.
So wherever Alexander is, he is waking up not hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so Maeve said she was at 3 now.
Yeah.
Decca, you're at 2 because this is the first one you've had.
Yes.
And where is
I'm,
Samuel and Jolene at? Oh, Jolene's also at
Jolene,
3.
Jolene, I
Yep.
think, yeah, is also
Samuel's
at
at
3.
2 because he successfully hunted at the hospital
Mm-hmm.
last session.
I'm just gonna real quick slake mine on a cow. Just
Okay.
but I'm a lot nicer about it than Jolene is.
You don't even know that.
Yes, I do.
He brings the cows flowers.
He's seen Jolene
Choose
drinking a
them.
soda. She chews on the straw. He knows what she'd do to his cow.
No, so what she does is she just Capri Suns a chicken.
God.
Yeah, I would just like as soon as I get up and I feel that little pang, I'm like, okay, and then I just like real quick, come here, Bethany, it's okay, baby.
You have no problem slaking one hunger with a cow without harming it.
Yeah. And then he goes about the rest of his day, just kind of like doing his regular farm stuff.
You're probably trying to get that done quick, though.
Yes,
You have had
I'm trying to rush that.
you have had a
and-
violation of your domain. So.
Yes, but I still
Yeah.
wanna put off the. I want to put off the veneer that like I am not phased by this, so I still want to go about business as usual. But I'm like texting the group chat meeting now, or when.
Okay. Jolene,
Yes.
you wake up and you're pretty peckish.
Oh yeah.
The beast is rumbling in your gut.
We're gonna wait and see when they say the meeting is, and decide then.
Okay. Blackjack has sent out a text asking when the coterie is meeting up.
It's usually Samuel's call.
He's the adult here.
The adult here, adult.
The adult to your adult.
One moment.
Let's see. I said it was a Wednesday.
Yeah, he will send out a message that will say, "My place now."
We're headed over. Easy,
Yep.
easy peasy. This is also the third night for you, right? So you would have had, or do you have one more night for your ritual?
Finishing
I thought it's either tonight or tomorrow.
finishing tonight would be night 3,
Yes.
unless yeah, we're going chronological days, aren't we?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, after tonight, that's when I have to make the ritual roll to see if the ritual was a success.
Okay. After
oh,
tonight.
it's after tonight. Okay,
Okay.
that's how that works.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the part that's about it. Is it's like, yeah, night 1 and 2 are all right. Once you're done with night 3, though, that's when you make the roll.
Well, you have to spend the time, and then you find out if it actually worked or not.
Yeah, basically.
Which is true of making most anything.
Okay.
Mm.
So
On
yeah.
the way to Samuel's, Maeve is gonna
Yep.
eat.
All right. Before
Go
we
for a
do
bite.
that, Duba, did you have any ideals for Alexander's background already?
Ooh, I am quickly reading and trying to figure that out.
Do you have any issue with being new to the city?
No, I'll be okay with that.
Okay. Because we did a relationship map with the other characters before we started up because they were already a coterie. With you, I'm planning to introduce your character kind of new. Either after session or get on a little early next session. And we will go through the questions of like who's your sire and what's your relationship with him and a couple of NPCs that you know in town.
I'm sure, of course. I mean, if push comes to shove, I can happily try to get on earlier next go round
Uh,
and get them
Everyone
knocked
ma-
out.
Everybody make a note of that.
but I mean, it
It's
won't
pretty
take very
good.
long, but it's just
No.
All right.
So yeah, we're all I'm driving my shitty Chevy. Actually, I probably would have gotten everybody else, so that'll give them time to like feed and whatever.
So I'm assuming you send the text out either while you're doing your farm work or right after.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you've been up a little bit,
yeah,
which will give
yes.
hopefully the
absolutely.
other two time to do a little hunting.
Yes.
Where is Maeve going to hunt? And has Maeve roused the blood to heal those wounds?
Not yet.
Is she going to do that now or after she's fed?
After she's fed.
Okay.
She knows she's getting hungry. So,
Let's say we didn't have time last session before we ended, but Samuel would have taken Maeve to his home and like patched her up a bit more fully.
Well,
Then-
the trick is with the vampire.
Yeah.
Patching her up with like medical supplies really isn't doing her any good. There's no
Yeah.
natural healing involved.
Yeah, but he would have like masked the injuries so they're not visible publicly. So when she does rouse the blood to heal, there's no visible change.
Oh yes, yes, that makes sense.
To the injuries themselves.
Because I think she had heal 1 level last time,
mhm.
so the
Yeah.
cuts
You
didn't
heal
look
3
quite as
more
bad.
times.
Hmm.
So in your report, you put them down, so they weren't quite as bad. So yeah, it'd be 2 more. Was it 2 more or 3 more?
3 more.
That's
So it
right.
took
That's
4
right. That sucker did
superficial
4.
damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's superficial, so that is not hard to heal at all.
Yeah.
How many
Just
do
gotta
you
make
heal
sure I don't-
per? I can't remember if it's 1 per rouse check. Yeah, I think it's 1 per rouse check,
It's 1 per rouse check.
and then aggravated takes 2 rouse checks, and you can only do it like
yes,
once a day.
and I can only do that like twice, or once or twice a session,
Okay.
something like that. Yeah, because I wrote down 3 rouse checks to fully like heal.
All right.
And had them gone.
Alrighty, so what I want from you will be a hunting check. And if I recall right, you are the alley cat, so you go and you pick fights or you go out and assault people, basically.
Kind of. I mean, I go after like criminals. So. I forget which is what I want.
Let me see. Ah, yeah, Systems of the Blood. That's what I need. Hunting. Alright, Strength and Brawl is what you roll. Or
Yeah,
wits
no,
and
but I roll-
or wits and streetwise.
Yeah, wits and streetwise because that's there we go. Let's go and roll. I'm like in like the seedier part of town.
Mm. Let's see.
Ooh, 3 successes.
Alright. And let's see, there's not really a slum area particularly where you're at, but you know, there are places that are worse than others, and you know kind of where the criminal element hangs out. Now, of course, if you just hit them regularly every couple of nights, they're going to start prepping because they'll know somebody's out there messing with you.
Yeah, she like changes every now and again. Sometimes it's like close to her job. Sometimes it's close to there. Just depends on when she gets hungry at that time.
Okay.
Just to do a quick, like, you know.
And just for the record, your boss has given you the next couple of nights off.
Okay. Good to know.
All right. So you're stalking around, basically staking out kind of a known drug den. The dealers seem a little skittish tonight. Maybe the guy you hit last night's been talking. Though you got him so quick, he didn't really seem to even know necessarily what had happened. You do manage to kind of fall in behind someone as they're leaving the house. You're not sure if it's somebody that worked there, or if it was somebody that was just there buying, but let's see. Oh, 3 successes, yeah. But you manage to catch him when there are no cars on the road at right that moment. You manage to come up behind him, clamp your teeth down into him, and then sort of drag him to the side and into, in and amongst some trees. It's not real dense cover, but it's night. You're not somewhere where the street lights are, or where all the street lights are functioning.
Yeah.
Look at that weird couple making out over there.
You broke up a little bit there, Deco. What?
Say, look at that weird couple making out over there.
If anybody saw him at all, that would be about what they think.
Decky, you a robot, bro.
Yeah, because he does go kind of limp and kind of out of it. And for a few minutes afterwards, you're kind of buzzing a little bit. Which is the danger if you're feeding off of
Scum.
alcoholics or
Druggies.
druggies when they're on something. Based on this, he had probably either just taken it and it hadn't really taken effect, or he was coming down from something. It's not enough to impair you. Like I said, it's just kind of a slight buzz. How much of your hunger are you going to slack on this guy?
At least 2.
Because I believe
enough
it's
to, kill him to save off all my hunger. Unless
but your hunger would be 0, and you do have 3 more heal checks yeah, it was 4 total. So you got 3 more checks to make.
Yeah.
This guy is kind of the refuse of society, and your beast is really hungry.
Risk reward. What do you want to do?
I mean, he's
You
gonna
know,
he's gonna have drugs on him as long as you lick the wound closed. Nobody's gonna think vampire. They're gonna think OD.
would.
I just picture that the storyteller just role playing the beast right now.
Basically.
Yeah.
Just
You
do
know,
it.
you're only gonna have time to hunt. You're only gonna have time to hunt the once tonight. You know, considering Samuel's already sending out texts for everybody to come by his place.
And if I do get into a fight,
You know, and the killer you're tracking down, he's not being picky about his victims. That poor woman was just, making a living. And where this guy that you're sipping on, what's he worth it to anybody?
he might have kids.
Man, you should have thought
They might
about
be better off
before
without him.
Damn.
Well, it's harsh, but it's a harsh world you live in.
It is.
That's true. We don't have kids in World of Darkness. Society has evolved past the need for kids.
Well,
Yeah,
that may be
change
true of the
when it's
kindred.
thematically appropriate. It
No,
actually
that's
hinted
childish.
that thin bloods can have children.
I know in the old rules, some of them could. You actually had rules for the Damphir.
Mm.
You actually had two different types of Damphir, because the kindred of the east could also have them. But that's nothing to concern yourself with.
Yet.
I'm curious how much hunger Maeve is going to slake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gotta make a
I'm
decision,
trying to
Maeve.
think.
You got your,
Chug,
Chug.
Yeah, you know what? She'll slave off her hunger. She will have to heal up.
so you're draining him dry?
Sorry, guy, but this is it for you.
Alright. You are at 0 hunger. Now, do you want to rouse the blood now for your healing?
Probably rouse the blood now and then also on the way to Samuel's
Okay.
as well.
Go ahead and give me as many of the mini rouse checks as it's going to take 3 for you to heal up completely.
Don't forget to lick the wound closed. Pigeon.
Yes, she will do that. And
Early in the
Kind of
campaign like
prop
this, I will
him.
remind you, but later on it'll be up to
kind
you.
of prop him on the wall to look like he stumbled and was like kind of slumped down onto the wall
Okay.
to be like that is how he died.
You're kind of out in the neighborhood, so you've got this little space of trees, kind of the sidewalk, a little bit of trees, and then like somebody's privacy fence, so you can kind of slump him against that without any trouble.
Mm-hmm. And then it takes 3 rouse checks. So.
All right, that was 1 success. So you got a hunger there. That's 1 hunger you've got.
Success.
All right, so you're completely healed, and you are at 1 hunger.
There we go.
And all it cost the world was 1 kind.
Many
this
more
time
will
it's-
pop up in his place anyway.
About this time, it's probably when the truck drives up. Like,
Get in the truck.
To the truck.
good to go.
Good to go.
She belches loudly. All right. Oh yes, and Jolene needed to. So how is Jolene hunting? Is she going by Blackjack's farm, wait for him to leave?
How
Yes.
are there deer in this area?
Yes.
Okay.
Trust
That
me,
is
I
kind
know
of-
because this is the area where I had a deer come out and shoulder check my car.
Okay.
My poor little
Yes.
siesta.
She's just gonna go wandering around.
Because you have
my
the
car here.
you have the Belvin's Gap nature preserve. Basically, like if you look on the map, which I know our viewers
Yeah, it's
can't
like
see, but I got
butted right up against it.
yeah, all that wooded area around like the fancy, the ledges up here, the fancy area Samuel lives in. It's not all nature preserve, but it's all wooded. There's deer all through there.
Oh, but that's not their area.
Now that is true. The wooded area is not really assigned to anybody. When it comes to things like hunting, wild animals really aren't something most kindred think about.
But Thin Blood, and she don't want to shake the boat.
Thin Blood, you don't want to shake the boat, and you know the prince himself hunts there occasionally.
Yeah. She'll kind of walk along the borders, maybe.
Okay.
See if any deer are stupid enough to come out until... If one comes out, one comes out. If not...
Alright, so let's see.
Going hungry over to the meeting.
Urban parkland usually has a difficulty of 5. Which is kind of what this would count as, except you're hunting animals here and not people's. On the other hand, deer are going to be hard for a person to catch. And Thin Blood are as close to people as they are to regular kindred in some ways. But I'll say a difficulty 4.
I'd say one of her advantages, I think,
I
does
have
give her...
vampiric resilience, which pretty much...
Oh, okay. So you're more or less.
Yeah.
Okay.
At night, she's pretty much takes damage and does damage like a vampire.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just talking about being
During-
fast enough and quiet enough to catch a
Oh.
deer physically.
She does have skill in or specialty in silent movement and hunting.
Okay. And you are a farmer. So it's
Oh,
composure and animal kin.
Roll an animal kin.
Let's see. Yeah, the usual hunting roll for a farmer is composure and animal kin. That strikes me as trying to keep an animal calm while you approach it. Going after a wild animal. Let me look at your. Let me pull your sheet up right quick.
Man, if only you had the person who has a specialty in animal can for keeping an animal calm.
Yeah, well, he won't let her caprice on the cow. So
3 of you have it.
I'm going to let you roll composure and survival.
so survival roll with composure as a stat.
Yes.
Would any of her specialties count, since she's hunting?
Hunting would, yes, because that's a survival, and that's what she's doing.
Do I add anything to this?
Composure, survival, and your specialty gives you 1 dice.
1.
Yeah.
1 dice, yeah.
So plus 1 dice for that
So-
specialty.
Modifier would be 1.
Yes. Alright, so you got 3 successes. But you needed 4, I said?
Either 4 or 5.
4, I think I was going to go with 4. Cause...
You said 4.
Alright.
And she's going hungry.
Well, I tell you what I do. Since you only missed by 1.
Lands on a rabbit.
Well, I'll give you 2 choices. You can catch a deer like you were planning to. But in the process of getting a hold of it, you catch a hoof across the face. Meaning you will take some damage. I mean, it'll be superficial.
Yeah.
Or you can catch a rabbit. But a rabbit, of course, you're only going to get, 1 blood's worth out of it. Where a deer, I think you'd be good for...
Would a deer count as a large animal or a medium animal?
I would say a
Large
cow
animal
would be large, so most a deer would probably be medium.
Good thing I have like 4 or 5 cows at my farm.
Yeah, it's good. Good for you.
Yeah.
So anyway, would you rather catch a rabbit and only get one back, or
She'll catch a rabbit.
okay?
She was at 2 already, so.
And that
Flips
is,
off the deer. Capri Sun's a rabbit.
and that winds up being all that you can find. All right. And Blackjack apparently is the one driving around picking everybody up. So
Yeah. Eventually, he's gonna text Jolene like, "Hey, where you at?"
Just pick me up and she'll like give a like street intersection, and
yeah.
that's like on the way there.
And I'll
Hops into the back, lays
yeah.
down.
You
Oh,
good
I'm
back
sure
there?
Blackjack, Maeve, and Jolene could all fit in the cab. Y'all are friendly.
Hops into the back, lays down.
It's not like stuff's gonna get uncomfortable, or you're not gonna. Not like any of you are generating heat while you're sitting in there.
Nah, she's irritated. She's jumping into the back and laying down.
She's irritated she could only get the rabbit and not the deer.
He's hungry. She's grumpy from the last night.
You smell like the woods.
You smell like cow shit. Let's go.
Oh,
We're
somebody's grumpy today, or tonight.
We're taking
Angry.
that.
All right,
Alright, let's go. We'll make our way to Samuel's.
all right. You pull up. The guard at the gate, calls up to Samuel's house. He's one of the regulars. He recognizes the truck, but it's procedure.
Yeah, he'll say he's expecting them.
It's one of those things where when he sees you pulling up, he's already calling Samuel before you really get up where you could even talk to him.
Yeah.
And then he waves you on through.
Appreciated. We make our way in.
Okay. You all arrive at Samuel's house.
Alright, that was dangerously close to my farm. I don't like this. I'm gonna beat that guy's ass next time I see him.
Was it Samuel's sitting there in what looks like kind of nice but actual street clothes?
Uh-huh.
And he's currently screwing a silencer onto a pistol.
Like, you just see Blackjack, like, bust open through the door. Not, like, violently, of course. He just, like, opens the door, like, aggressively. He's like, I'm gonna beat that guy's, and he sees
And he's
like,
sitting there just like,
oh, we're on the same page. Good to
I'm
know.
just imagining it being one of those double doors, and Blackjack just comes in, flinging both doors open as he marches
Yes.
through.
Exactly.
Samuel just sitting there, might as well just be like petting a cat too somehow as he's just screwing a silencer onto a pistol.
Oh, I see we're on the same page. Good to know.
I do not appreciate people poaching in our domain.
I agree.
So this time I am going with you.
Ooh. We get the boss to join us.
It'd be nice.
As he puts it in a concealed carry spot on the inside of his jacket.
Well, Alabama is an open carry state, don't forget.
Yes.
But that still draws attention.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not from people like me, because I'm just oblivious, but
Yeah.
it's always somebody else in the group I'm hanging out with.
I always
Yeah.
see it. You can legally carry swords in Texas, so
Yeah.
I always see them.
Yeah.
Texas.
He does have a concealed carry permit too, in case that comes up.
Okay.
But he can probably kind of, with most cops, by just
You
a
didn't
quick.
see anything.
Well, more's like a quick. It's fine. Dominate.
Oh,
Yeah,
it is fine.
it's fine. No self-defense. That man needed killing.
He needed 7 bullets.
Of course, as a doctor, you know about, the fact that they could trace the bullets to where they came from. So, if you do end up gunning somebody down, you might want to retrieve them.
Yeah. And he has the skills to do it.
Yep. Does he carry the little suture thing around with him that he can reach in and pull them out right quick?
Oh yeah.
It's not the first time he's done this.
He's a veteran. He's an ex-soldier. So yeah.
So So basically, he's weighed the pros and cons of having an unregistered gun and getting caught with it versus the potential of them tracing it back to him with a registered one, and chosen to go with a legal one.
Yeah, it's legal, but he can remove the bullets real fast. And if it comes to it, unless he's dealing with one of the kindred, he can just dominate kind that aren't expecting it or aren't resisting.
Could a kindred lick a bullet wound closed?
Theoretically.
Exit wounds would probably be too big because you can't do large wounds with it. But if you're using like a 22, just the entrance wound.
Guess we'll have to find out.
No, yeah, that's interesting. I'll have to look online for that. Get other people's opinions.
All right. So where are we gonna start looking? I'm hot right now. I'm gotta get this guy. We're gonna get this guy.
Well, first, I'm going to see if I can invoke a vision of him. See where we might be able to plot an ambush.
Blood magic. Ugh.
You are very incorrect. On both counts.
Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do.
He's just, once everyone's in, doors closed and everything, he's just going to sit down and try to invoke a premonition.
Okay. That is a... Well, you probably got the power pulled up. Tell me what the roll is.
Rouse yeah, it's a rouse check on my part. But I fail.
301 night.
Yep. Because it's not a level 1 power, I can't re-roll it.
Oh. Okay, well, Auspex is a very useful power, but it's not always the most reliable.
So now... Specs, there we go. Premonition. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, it has the rouse roll next to it. Is that what that is? Hey, it does. It has the rouse roll next to the power name. I don't have to click on rouse.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No scrolling down for you.
Yeah, basically. Modifier 1 for power.
Ooh.
4 successes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see a man. Where the last time it was like you were following kind of behind him. Almost like a video game where you were slightly up above him and from behind. This time it's like you kind of get a static view of the outside of a store. And this fella is... he's not in the jacket this time, of course. You have the jacket in... The coterie has the jacket in their position.
Right.
I guess Maeve probably kept it. Because you had dug out the receipts and stuff out of his pockets, and
Yep.
Which I probably needed to write down. I remember the really relevant one, so... This is obviously a kindred hunting. I mean, you just recognize it. You're not sure, or I shouldn't say hunting, because he would have fed the night before. But same colored hair. Like I said, you're getting kind of a static view of the front of this door, so you see his face this time. As he walks by, he's not talking to anybody, but he passes somebody coming out of the store as he's going in. He kind of gives them a nod. Just one of those simple, hey, I made eye contact with another person. And he walks into the store. You don't see the name of the store, but it's a large entrance. And in the distance, well, not the far distance, but across the parking lot, you see a couple of storefronts that you do recognize. He is entering the Target at Valley Bend.
Okay.
So, whenever this vision takes place, and you see, with that many successes, you're fairly certain this has not happened yet. You're fairly certain you're seeing a future event, not a current event.
Okay.
But it would imply that he is still in your domain.
Right. Is there any sense of how far into the future?
Let's see. Yeah, the parking lot wasn't real busy. So you're guessing 9 o'clock or later.
Okay. As in like close future or like another day?
Probably the same day. You don't get the impression that it's very far in the future.
Okay.
They close at like during regular times they close at like I think 10, 11.
Oh, I was thinking about Walmart's been open later. Yeah, you're right. Targets do close at 10, don't they?
Walmart sometimes stays open 24.
Walmart during the holidays is 24 hours, and then any other.
Well, I mean,
But-
it could make sense of not being a lot of people there if it's close to close.
That's true. Well, that's true. 9, if he's going into shop, 9 still gives you an hour. So
Yeah.
yeah, you're guessing
Shop.
close. You're guessing it was close to closing time.
It's like associates putting away stuff.
Yeah, you're gonna nibble on an overnighter. Sir, we're closed.
Unless he's gotten a job in your domain. He's just squat. He's not just a poacher. He's a squatter too.
I'm about to beat his ass. At his workplace.
Taking our jobs.
Jumping into my domain, taking my job.
Stealing my food!
You wanted to work at Target? No, that's not the point. So anyway, you come out. I'm assuming you let the coterie know.
He'll inform them what he'd seen.
Okay. As this is happening, or as you're informing them,
He'll also inform them, I am very hungry now.
Well,
Welcome to the club.
there's a knock at your door.
He's door.
Mhm.
He'll look it up, go to the door. He won't open it. It's like, may I help you?
Yes, this is Theodore of Clan Nosferatu.
Write this down.
You recognize the name. It is the Nosferatu clan whip. Not that they really use the term. A clan whip is generally kind of the second in command. Not all clans use the title or really even have like the position as an official thing.
How the hell do you spell Nosferatu? My
NOS,
brain.
You can abbreviate it with
NOS.
NOS.
FERATU.
Okay, what was that again?
I'm just gonna copy paste it to you, sock puppet.
Thank you.
That's how we're gonna work this.
So anyway, you have met Theodore in passing.
Right.
He is, like all of his clan, hideous.
Mm. Oh,
But the time or two you
Theodore.
spoke to him, he seemed to be a fairly good-natured fellow. He didn't stink of sewage like some of them do.
Theodore, a pleasure.
There is another Nosferatu with him.
I see you brought company.
Yes. Duba, what does Alexander look like?
Sorry. Alexander, I'd say, is about 6 foot tall gentleman. He is unfortunately plagued with essentially somewhat being bald. He only has like maybe that I guess it's stereotypical, just a few small strands of hair just randomly upon his head. When you get a look at his face, you see what could almost be somewhat rat-like features. He's got like, big buck teeth, almost like, the top and bottom kind of overlap each other.
Underbite or
Yes.
overbite?
Overbite.
Okay.
You've been playing the Skaven too much.
You hush.
He's pointing at the screen and we can't see him.
Well, because he's looking at.
He
I'm
can,
Eric.
looking at him.
he can see all y'all. He just hasn't got a camera yet.
But so anyway, but his nose is kind of flat, slightly up, so his nostrils are always kind of flared in a way. So that. but
Okay, so
say
he's got the big rat-like teeth and kind of an upturned nose.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll quit
He-
interrupting now. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine, sir. Appearance-wise, he looks like to be about 60. He's got the noticeable, also like crow's feet, the start of some good wrinkling and whatnot. Like he's been around, seen bull crap and dealt with it. And he's just kind of in a nice casual, I guess you could say streetwear mostly. Kind of a big coat, just jeans, regular looking kind of. I wouldn't say penny loafers, but they're nice shoes. Oddly enough, for someone that dwells in the shadows. And he's just kind of stand there, his hands in front, just being silent for right now.
Okay.
Can I ask
So-
you a question real quick?
Yes, go ahead.
What do are your ears like mousy too, or
No.
are they like pointy?
I will say they are just slightly pointed. You can see a point, but it's not like very dominant or profound. It's just got a slight point.
If they were the only odd thing about him, people would notice they were a little pointy, but not think anything of it.
Just in the bod mod, it's fine.
Yeah, I used to go to school. Back in elementary, there was a kid in my school that I thought he had elf ears.
Mhm.
I mean, they weren't
Don't have
super
that.
super pointed, but they were. It was
You would notice
Just
it
enough.
just a little bit.
Just enough to ask questions.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
Had I known more at the time, I'd have thought half elf, but I didn't know as much.
No, could have been.
It's possible. No, I take that back. I have seen his mother. His parents shop at my store, so I see them fairly regularly.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
His dad was
Let's
like,
see it.
his dad's the guy that ran the insurance place we get the family gets our insurance through. So
Yeah.
Really getting off on a tangent here. Anyway, let me focus. So anyway, Theodore nods. It's good to see you, Doctor. I hope you forgive the intrusion. This is Alexander. He is new to the city. When was Alexander embraced? How long has he been a vampire?
I'm going to roughly say he hasn't been a vampire super long.
Okay.
I'd say probably he's lived he almost got to live his life fully. He got to a ripe old age about 70. But that's when his sire, did the transformation, and he's dealt with it for about the past, I'd say, 20, 30 years now?
Okay. So he's not brand new or anything.
No, he's not like super brand new. Like, oh god, what is all this? He's been around a little to slowly pick up on like, okay, so this is the BS I have to put up in my life now. Well, okay,
Okay.
I accept the terms.
I'm going to say that you lived up around. Are you familiar at all with the Huntsville, North Alabama area?
Somewhat. I mean, if you were to say this BS was down in Birmingham, I got you, fam. However,
Oh no, there's bad crap going down in Birmingham. You don't want it down there.
Sir, I'm aware. We live here in Homewood.
I mean, in the world of darkness, let's see,
I can only
at this
imagine.
point, I think the Camarilla has taken Birmingham back from the Sabbat.
I think they have, yeah.
Come
but
to think of
was
it, is their
bloody
prince?
conflict.
Is the prince down there named Alexander?
I think so, actually.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, he's a-
bloody convenience.
He's a Malkavian though, so don't get don't get the big head.
Yeah.
No. I'm just like, okay, I picked that name at random, but hey, nice to know.
But no, I'm going to say you're from Harvest, which is a community a little north of Huntsville.
Okay.
Hmm.
I mean, if it's a small community, then hey, right up my alley because I lived in one for practically my entire life.
Now, I don't think it has much of a sewer system, so you've been living in abandoned houses and.
Oh yeah, no, his haven that he has in this area or has slowly gained is both creepy and haunted. So generally, no one tends to mess with him. He gets to live a nice, quiet life.
Well,
Somewhat.
you've spent most of your time up in Harvest up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
However, you have been forced down into the city as you seem to be encountering more and more lupines in Harvest. Lupines, as I'm sure you're aware if you've glanced through the book at all, is what the vampires refer to the werewolves as.
Yeah.
And where vampires rule the cities, the lupines rule the wilds. Communities like Harvest, it can be kind of a dangerous place for a vampire because you're just kind of right there on the edge. It doesn't take much for a pack of lupines to run through. If they have something like the Masquerade, it's actually easier for them. And you would probably have seen this firsthand at some point. In their full form, if a kind sees them, they tend to flee. They scream and flee or curl up into a ball. Only very rarely do they snap and attack. But none of them seem to remember much of what happened afterwards. It's like something makes them delirious. So after a few close calls, you have moved down into Huntsville. You had known for a while that there was a community of Nosferatu down here, led by their primogen, a woman known as Grandmother Dorcas. So you moved down there, you asked her for help. She has taken you in. You have been presented to the prince, which is, the formality. The prince has graciously allowed you to dwell in his domain, in his city. You get the impression him and Dorcas are on pretty good terms.
Mm-hmm.
The higher ups get real political, so you can't tell for sure, but so if you have points in Haven, that will be somewhere here in the city that you've already managed to secure, probably with Dorcas's help. The one small complication that she didn't think would be a problem is that this house is already in an already claimed domain. So what Theodore has brought you here for is to introduce you to the coterie that owns this domain. Now, Dorcas cannot make them accept you into this coterie, but she suggested introduce yourself, try to be useful to them. She tells you, Dr. Caldwell?
Caldwell.
I get it right eventually, or I'll write it down one. Dr. Samuel is a pretty reasonable sort. If you're useful to him, they'll most likely let you stay. She knows that he, or suspects that he put his coterie together with a very specific purpose in mind. She doesn't tell you what that purpose is, but she thinks you would probably be of a benefit to him. So that's why you're on this doorstep. In what you have to assume is probably the ritziest part of town. It's a gated community on top of the highest point of the city. You know, they've got their own country club and golf course up here. It's really not the sort of place you'd be hanging out generally.
Yeah, no, to be fair, he's probably sitting here thinking, oh dear God, what have they got me into now?
Joe, recognizing that look, just kind of looks at him and nods.
Howdy.
You see,
Now, of the group you see before you, only Samuel's really dressed like he fits in here. One of the guys... Does Blackjack wear overalls?
On the job, yes. He has. You can't see the overall part. He has pants and he has like a little thing that goes up that might be like suspenders or something. But he has a nice. It's Bruja, so he's kind of leather jacket. So he's got a leather jacket over,
Well, I'll say so. Basically, what Dupe is wearing.
more or less, yeah. Except he has a leather jacket over that.
Okay. But, you know, you got
Yes,
one guy
I
that's
tend to
still...
wear my bracers or suspenders daily.
Yeah, I know you do.
So,
Yes, because I already act my age, aka 60 years old or plus.
well, you know, overalls tend to come up to here, and you wear a
Right.
shirt up under it.
Well, I have my leather jacket over that.
Okay. So you can kind of tell he's up close. You can tell he's in overalls because the jacket's probably not zipped all the way up.
Yeah, no. It's he's like really dirty and dingy looking.
Yeah, Alexander's gonna see Blackjack. Just kind of glance and like, okay. So, but I say not everyone here is squeaky clean. I can get behind this.
But
Howdy.
anyway, Theodore is like I said, he's talking to Samuel. He goes, "This is Alexander. He's new to the city, and we have found him a potential haven, but it's in your domain. Grandmother Dorcas thought he would be of a benefit to your coterie. Wanted to introduce you. You know, of course, it's your domain. You know, but she thought he'd be useful. She wanted me to introduce him, especially with what's going on. Someone with his skill set might be especially useful in tracking this fellow down, this killer down, or tailing him once you've caught him. Well, you know our clan, you know our reputation. You know we're gatherers of secrets and investigators in some way.
That's a little convenient.
Well, is the kind Lady Dorcas asking for any boon in return for offering one of her clan to us potentially?
No, she considers it an even exchange. Your taking him in would be, you know, that would be you doing a boon for the clan, while his usefulness to you would likely be, you know, an equal boon. You know, and if you prove incompatible, that's fine. She's not you know, this is not us putting any. This is not her trying to put any pressure on you.
Well, Alexander, what is it that you are skilled at?
Ah, yes, right. Well, profession-wise, I am a veterinarian. Up in Haven, I tended to all the local farm animals, tended to all the local pets, and made sure they had secure, healthy lives until, you know, it was their time. Poor blessed things. Unfortunately, becoming a Nosferatu, I've discovered an unenjoyable thing that tends to happen that has caused me to essentially hide from the world, and luckily no one questions a doctor who mainly does work at night, but their pets and animals continue to stay healthy, fit, and continue living for a good few more years. So, that and, having to live in hiding but to keep up relative information on people, it's always best to be able to gather information, yes, and keep people on the books, as it were. I see that smirk, and I think you enjoy that last part.
Yeah, I recognize where that verbal tick came from. I need to smack Tyler next time I see him.
Eh.
Yeah. Well, I suppose that could be of use to me. Theodore, thank you for introducing us. I will see if I can put him to use.
Very good, Doctor. I'm sure you will get along fine. Him being another man in the medical field, you should have, things in common.
To a point. Is any of your network happen to be patrolling around the shopping center tonight?
The shopping center in Valley Bend?
Yes.
Not to my knowledge, though, many of us kind of go out about our own business. None of us would be poaching in your domain, I can assure you. But, it's always possible. Granted, we don't, any kind of gestures, make use of the shopping center while it's open.
Of course.
But, do you have a reason to... Let's see. Do you have a reason to suspect something's going on?
A premonition. It is fairly clear. My coterie will be going out to hunt together.
I was just going to say I could drop Alexander off to be scouting the place, but if you were all headed that direction.
Well, it would be a good test of his skills if he would scout for us. The event will be happening. What time is it?
Oh, let's see.
Oh,
If I remember right, the sun goes down around 5:20 ish.
Yeah, it is winter.
I looked it up last week and it was like 5:21 or something. But,
Yeah.
so I would say y'all probably spend an hour and a half doing your bloodstones, hunting, cleaning up around the farm.
Oh, if I'm doing the bloodstones, I do need to make that roll.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. So we'll say about 6:30 by this point.
Quick question, sir.
Yes.
The little bond familiar bit you get from animalism.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I have to cast or do, or is that something that is already done and I quote unquote have a little bonded familiar?
As a starting character, I think you would already have a bonded familiar, because I know I did. I do.
Okay.
Yeah, and basically what that lets you do is you can ghoul an animal, in which anybody can ghoul, any of you can ghoul an animal, but you get it. It's like you get a better one. I have not read recently. I have not read up on it real close, but I know specifically. I think like Maeve's dog basically takes damage like a vampire, if I remember correct, or takes damage like Maeve does.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'll flick over to animalism and we'll double check it. Let's see.
Forming mental link and using of other animalism powers. Communicate. Does not allow communication. Verbal instructions to stay and come here. And it attacks in defense of itself and its master, but cannot otherwise be persuaded to fight. It will attack.
And it lets you use things like feral whispers. There are some other animalism powers you can use on it for free that would otherwise require a rouse check.
Yeah.
But yes, Alexander's been around for a while. He could easily already have him a pet.
Oh, I make that statement because you'd probably see a small nose and a set of whiskers poking out of one of his coat pockets.
Do you have a mouse or is it a rat?
It's a rat.
Okay.
He figured it was fitting due to how he has slowly been transformed into what he is now, and the animals seem to sympathize with him, that he thought it was only fitting.
Mm-hmm. Nosferatu often have ghouled rats. That's not unusual.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and make that roll.
Okay, go ahead.
With the bloodstones. +1. That is a success.
Oh, yes.
Difficulty is 2.
Alright, so you will have successfully made the bloodstones.
Yep.
And you were
3 of them.
crafting 3 of them? Okay.
Yep, because that's how many that he can attune to.
Now, are they ready now, or will they be ready at the end of this night?
They're ready now.
Okay.
The second the ritual is finished at the end of the 3rd night, they're attuned and ready for use.
Okay. So you have effectively 3 magical tracking devices.
Yep. He will step back, pick up one of the small magnets. He will hand one out to Alexander.
He happily takes.
You are to keep this on you. This will allow me to keep track of your location and position.
Understood.
And he will then look at Theodore with the other 2. Or with one of them. He'll hand one to Theodore. He's like, this, if there is a potential target, the princes or the primogen, or the prince or the primogen, need me to track. I gift this stone to them for their use.
Oh, thank you.
And then he will hold on to the other one, just in case if this dude starts to slip away again, we can see if we can't plant it on him.
Okay.
So he can keep track of him. Because the stone lasts for a week. So that is 7 days of tracking, unless the guy finds it.
And, when you got his coat, he had receipts for months ago, so he may not clean his pockets out very often.
Yeah, that's his thought.
It'll just be a matter of if he's running away from you, can you get it into his pocket?
Samuel will know, because he doesn't have celerity. Maeve or Jolene, on the other hand. I'm pretty sure those 2 are the fastest of the party.
Or Alexander is super stealthy.
That's true. Alexander is very stealthy. Yeah, he will pause and because...
Or stereotypically the Nosferatu are. You don't really know
Yeah.
with Alexander specifically.
Well, Alexander did sell it as such to him, so he's going to take it as his word for now. And he will pause and say, actually, Alexander... And he'll hand him the second stone. And he'll give a description of the perpetrator. Man... will favor his left hand, about 5'9" to 6 feet tall.
Dark brown
has
hair.
Dark brown hair. Potentially might be acting skittish around a large group of people. And he'll give a description of the man's face, features, all of that.
Yeah, because you got a good look at his face going into the target.
Right. If you see that man before the rest of us arrive, use those obfuscate skills that you have boasted to me and plant one of those stones on him.
As you wish.
If, for some reason, this poacher gets away from us, that will let me keep unerring track of his location for the next week. He will not be able to hide again.
He just kind of looks at the stone,
Golly,
tilts it
why?
around. He's just like, ah, yes. Wonderful, wonderful magic, I believe. So shiny. And then
Another one.
quickly puts it in his pocket like, right.
Yes, Alexander probably doesn't know a lot about the Tremere clan. If he spent most of those 30 years in Harvest, you'd have heard they were wizards, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's about all he would really understand is like, okay, well, this is neat, pretty stone, okay.
You would have encountered random kindred coming down from, maybe coming down from Nashville, or, Gangrel passing through, other Nosferatu moving around. You lived in Harvest for those 30 years, but you never officially claimed it as your domain. You didn't have a prince, and you never declared praxis. There's a lot of responsibilities that would come with that, and since you were essentially just staying on the down low, you were afraid doing something like that, or you might have been afraid doing something like that would have drawn attention to you.
Oh, yes, tremendously.
And that also means when the lupine started getting thick, you really had no issues with ducking out.
No, it's like,
at
oh,
your
there,
age,
things
it was
getting
probably
better.
probably about time for whatever identity people knew you as to kind of disappear anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Scully, why?
Mother, I require your affections. Mother, pet me. It is time.
Mother, I realize you're paying attention to something that's not me.
Basically.
And then she's like, Father's not giving me attention, so I need it back from you, Mom, please.
Even though I was literally just petting her.
Yeah.
Not enough attention for her.
She doesn't want to make Mom jealous. She's got to divide her demands for attention between the two of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if he can, once all this is done, he is going to see if he can hunt, because he's rather hungry.
Okay. Well, you're going to a shopping center. There's plenty of people around.
Mhm.
Especially if you're getting there, like I said, it's 6:30, so, it might be, we'll say 7 by the time you drove down there.
Yeah, he's going to see if he can find, like, in some of the side back alleys of the shopping centers
Mhm.
where there might not be any cameras. Hopefully not any cameras. He's going to look to see if there's any cameras. As my brain process, yeah. See if there might be any, like, sleeping homeless people that might be just hanging out by the buildings for some kind of shelter.
Okay.
Considering he does prefer sleeping targets. He's going to look for those first.
Okay. Give me a hunting roll.
And he is not in his fancy, like, super fancy doctor attire. He's in sort of like a little bit upper class streetwear,
Mhm.
but not like fancy.
It's still nice, but nothing that would draw the eye in Jones Valley.
Right, absolutely. This looks like he's kind of out on the town kind of sleepwear.
I can
That, thank you.
Alright, this would probably count as gentrified or working class neighborhood. Hang on. Healthy working class neighborhood, downtown business district. We'll go with a difficulty of 3.
3. Okay. Against.
Oh, right. Okay. You're usually a Sandman.
Mhm.
Well, that's right. Even now, you're looking for somebody that might already be asleep.
Right, he's going to try to find a sleeping target, and if he can, give him a quick shot to keep them down while he feeds.
Now, keep in mind, a bite from a kindred tends to be pleasant to a person. It's not necessarily going to rouse them up.
That's true. Okay, never mind then. Yeah, that's right. He probably wouldn't have access to that stuff.
You know, doing that at a
Outside
hospital,
normal anyway.
you probably have, some access to stuff.
Yeah,
Uh,
he probably would normally. That's fair.
Has some morphine on him at all times, just like
Mm-hmm.
Down.
I
Alright,
require
Sandman
sustenance.
is dexterity stealth.
Dexterity stealth. Okay. I think I have a little in that. I have some. Alrighty. In other words, I'd better roll good, or I'm in trouble.
guys invoke the blood.
Yeah, you said the difficulty was 3,
Yes.
so I can only fail once.
You could always burn willpower to, or take a superficial hit to your willpower to re-roll up to 3 dice that aren't
That's true.
that aren't your hunger dice.
How do you restore that?
The
what?
willpower,
Yeah.
I think it comes back over time.
I think it comes back every night, maybe.
The superficial, I think, you get back on kind of a nightly basis.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think that does come back. Because I remember
Uh.
one of the lore books says if you meditate beforehand, you get bonus willpower for the next night. So I think that might be how. Okay, so
I know aggravated is, of course, harder to get back.
of course, yeah. So Dex plus Stealth, you said?
Yes.
Okay. I have no modifiers.
Oof. You
Yep.
can't reroll those either.
Yeah, all of my hunger die failed.
Oh, that's right. 3 of those were hunger die. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm hungry.
Poking around the shopping center, you check back behind, you look behind the dumpsters.
Mm-hmm.
You have, facing Carl T. Jones, of course, is the shopping center with some restaurants out in front. Behind that is the Valley 18, one of the larger theaters in town.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a space, the back of the theater and the back of the shopping centers are facing each other. There's a space back there that a lot of times you can find at least a few of the homeless,
Yeah.
because sandwiched in between those blocks a lot of the wind, especially in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
But either it's too early tonight, or maybe maybe it's a mild enough night that they're just, there's nobody there currently. Now, if you wanted to hunt in some other method, there are people wandering around. People in the theater,
Yeah.
but they're all creepy and awake.
Because I used to work at that theater, so people generally don't come out in pairs to take out the trash in the back of the theater to the compactor. So he's gonna wait behind that, and he's going to passively activate his heightened senses to listen for somebody coming out to the compactor to throw away the trash.
Okay. You're there 30 minutes or so before you finally hear somebody approaching the back door.
Okay.
You hear the disgruntled huff of what you can only assume will be a teenage worker.
I know that feel. I worked there as a teenager. I know how it goes.
Me too, buddy.
The back door opens. A fairly petite young lady comes out. She is dragging the garbage bag more than she's carrying it.
Seen that happen. He'll wait till she's opened it, tossed it in, then he'll sort of step around to where she can see him.
Oh, she looks startled. Oh, can I help you? And she's kind of slowly backpedaling towards the door.
He'll activate Dominate and say, "Stop."
Okay. Is that one of the ones that kind don't get a resistance to
They do not get resistance
unless
if they
they're
are not
prepared?
prepared.
Okay.
Right. Now, if he attempts to dominate her again, then she gets a roll to resist it.
Okay.
But
So you tell her to stop. She does.
and he'll just sort of come up and he knows how much blood someone can take before they lose consciousness.
I think
So-
I think it's 2 that they don't take any harm,
Right.
and then 3 they would take some harm, and that would probably put her out, but she'd be okay. I mean, she'd recover.
Yeah, he's going to feed off of her since she's been forced to stop. Her body will not respond to her at all. And he will feed Slake 2 hunger off of her.
Okay. As you go in for the bite, your beast is clawing at your stomach. It's like you can smell the blood moving under her skin.
Mm-hmm.
You see her eyes kind of follow you as you come in. But under your domination, she's forced to stand still.
Mm-hmm.
She gives a little gasp as your teeth. Are you biting her on the neck or the arm, or how are you doing this?
He's going to get her on the neck.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. That way she couldn't really see what you're doing.
Mhm.
So she gives a little gasp as you bite down.
Yep.
And for a moment, you're lost in the blood. The only thing the beast cares about.
Mm-hmm.
Vampires can fool themselves into thinking other things are important, but at the end of the night, it's really only the blood.
Yep.
Listen, you were at 3 hunger.
I was at 3 hunger, yeah.
Okay, so this knocks you down to 1 hunger. So
He's going to Slake 2.
the beast doesn't want to stop, but you don't have any trouble forcing it back into its box.
Yeah. He basically is like, she is not sleeping. And he'll force the beast back. Hold on. So I assume it's like something super pleasant, something like that. I believe that's how it goes.
Oh
with
yes,
that, yeah.
yes. When mortals are receiving the kiss, yeah, it's kind of like ooh.
There's a
Yeah.
specific clan where it's painful, but none of
Yeah.
us are that
Yes,
clan.
yes, yes. Now that doesn't mean they won't fight back if they really realize what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You sneak up on somebody that's actively hunting a vampire. Yeah, they're going to fight even though it feels nice because they know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
She's she's got no real clue, and is dominated
then-
where she can't move. So
And he'll lick the wound closed.
okay. She's
And
as you pull back, she's still giving you kind of it's like she's kind of coming out of it, still kind of giving you the wide eyed like she's very uncomfortable with what is going on.
and I need to knock 2 hunger off.
Mm-hmm.
And he will attempt to dominate her again.
Okay, got to make a roll this time, I believe, which is versus
Yeah.
her.
Do make a roll. It is her intelligence plus resolve,
Okay.
which for a weak mortal I don't think is very high.
Since I don't have
Sounds
stats for her
good.
put into the dice roller, or into the roll 20, I'll be using actual dice.
Yeah. My compel, my domination roll. I get +1 for my power.
So
5
Ooh.
successes.
5
Baby.
successes. She got 2, which is very good considering how small her dice pool was.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just roll over her pathetic willpower.
Yeah. And he'll tell her to forget him and return to work.
Oh, yeah, okay. I got to get back to work. And she wobbles a little bit her first couple of steps.
Yeah.
Because 2 blood is not enough to do harm, but they will feel a little weak, a little draggy.
Yeah.
Uh,
And he'll as she turns on the leaves, he'll go back around and pause and just look at his hands as he realized that the other thing that Beast wanted him to do was turn her into a ghoul. Before he just flexes his hand again and continues back on.
as the door, your senses are still heightened, so
Yeah.
as the door is shut, and you hear somebody, and they go, "What took you so long?" And then the door slams shut, which makes you kind of grimps. And
Yeah. I believe that his heightened senses lasts for the rest of the scene.
You can turn it off if you want to.
and then we change.
Yeah, I
sense.
I can turn it off at will. But yeah, he's gonna turn off his heightened senses.
Now,
until we have to
all this took
turn
time
it on.
because first he was attempting to hunt one way, and then he stood around for a half hour on another. So, what have the
But
rest of
we
y'all
had
been
till
doing?
approximately 9ish, I think, from your description.
Oh yes,
so.
yes.
So he knew he had some time to hunt.
Oh, yeah,
because he was real hungry.
But everybody
We
had
just-
rode down to the shopping center. So, what are the
We
rest
just
of
watched-
you doing?
So we just watched Samuel walk off like, Dot, where you? Oh,
Yeah, he probably told you he was in.
oh.
He's going out for a bike.
Yeah, he did say before he answered the door for Alexander that he was very hungry.
Yeah. It takes him a sec to like, oh.
The thirst is real, and that means something completely different for a kindred.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true. I'm using that. That was good. I like that. The thirst is real. What do you mean? Om nom nom.
So, is Alexander with us?
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Really slowly.
tell me about yourself, buddy. What brings you here in our domain?
Well, unfortunately, the dear beloved residents back in Haven was getting a little uncomfortable to my liking. Not the humans. The humans were fine. It is our dear friends, or at least what I've learned slowly, that is our quote unquote friends, were starting to get a little bit more in number up there. And knowing the relationship, I figured it'd be a bit safer to move closer to the city than staying out in a little country town.
Yeah, your friends? What friends?
Oh, the bloody
I-
werewolves.
I have a. Oh.
Yes, those things.
I've had an encounter or two in my day.
Well, unfortunately the numbers got a little too uncomfortable for me, so I decided to move a little bit away from my old home.
Fair enough. What? I mean, I assume you're able to like go invisible or whatever the NASA want to do.
Oh, yes. But I say, with any luck, if I can, depending on where I need to be, I can stand perfectly still, and to the untrained eye, I'm not even there.
I have a few NASA friends. They've shown me some of the tricks. Gotta learn it one of these days. Do we have a basic game plan, or do we just know that this guy's gonna be coming in here? And he's talking to the rest of the coterie.
I mean, maybe we should kind of disperse and spread ourselves just in case if he comes by one of us.
Well, he only recognizes you and me, so if we're off to the side somewhere, and the other two are somewhere else, might be
I
alright.
can go shopping. Y'all can just tell me if he's heading there.
He reaches into his pocket. You see him pull out his little friend, which is, a standard looking rat, almost identical in the face, but small differences. He just kind of looks at him. He's like, right. Darn it, we didn't bring that coat now, did we?
No. What? The coat? Do you have the coat?
Yeah, she's gonna hold the coat up.
He'll hold out his little rat friend up to it and like, all right now, come on, get a good scent. He's gonna wait until he makes a little squeaking sound like he has gotten an idea. He's gonna gently set him down like, all right, remember, stay in the shadows, but let me know if you find someone with that smell. All right?
I'm just
And
picturing
just
this huge sewer rat getting noticed in Target.
It's not any different from any other. I've been in 2 Targets in my day.
Yeah. That's not any different.
I mean, I have to say it.
Size of a chihuahua.
I have to say it though. How would it be any different than any of the other rats that shop there?
Exactly.
That's a very elitist attitude to have, Samuel.
Brava, sir.
I mean, I suppose pets start looking like the owners or the other way around. But that's kind of ridiculous.
Well, I wasn't the lucky soul to get to pick what I became. I just learned to deal with it.
That's a healthy attitude. I think a lot of Nos seem to take that attitude, and props to you. And he taps his shoulder.
All right.
I say he just kind of shrugs like,
So while they're having this
Not
discussion, presumably still in the car,
Yeah.
what have Maeve and Jolene been doing?
Girl trip. No.
I assumed we were all in the same. I assumed we were all in the same
Yeah,
car.
I thought we were all in the same vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
What the hell
were you sitting here
hold
listening to this conversation, or had y'all already gotten
Yeah.
out and start staking the place out?
I mean, after the conversation and whatnot, she held the jacket out. She was gonna go walk, cause shopping did seem like a good idea.
Okay, so y'all are just perusing around in the Target, together or separately.
my fat tail's gonna be
Probably
separate.
Separately.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joe's like, look, I kind of look like his target. I look like a human. She's got lifelike.
That's right. So she'd be warm to the touch.
Hmm?
Because that's basically you got blush of life going on all the time, if I remember right.
And also more vulnerable if one of the people who works at Target happens to be a kindred.
Well, this is your domain. There shouldn't be any of them here.
Shouldn't
Yeah.
be.
She's also got vampiric resilience, so I mean,
Yeah.
if shit goes down, she can at least hold kind of her own, unless it gets crazy, and then she's like, we'll figure that out. But
Now, I say there shouldn't be a kindred working here since it's your domain. There could easily be kindred shopping here.
yeah,
That's not a violation of anything as long as they're not hunting. Or breaking
Oh,
the
also-
masquerade or anything like that.
I also assume we made like a temporary group chat with Alexander in it.
Well, now keep in
With,
mind the restrictions on technology.
Sure.
The Camarilla does not really want you using tech for messaging at all. Though you're not violating the actual rules as long as you do not discuss any kindred business on it.
Right. I just keep it low key enough. I try to. Looks at Maeve.
Eh.
yeah, you're both fine, upstanding.
Thanks. Have fun shopping.
All right, now Alexander, you have got 2 ranks in obfuscate.
Yes, I have 2 ranks in Obfuscate, and with those in question, which I've been slowly trying to fill in.
Okay, so Cloak
Uh,
of let's see, Cloak of Shadows is the one that lets you. That's the one where you stand still and you just fade from view.
Yeah, pretty much I just fade away. Like, as long as I stand still, don't make any movement, don't make a sound, as far as anyone can tell, I am not there.
And if I recall right, that one does not cause a rouse check
As
as long as
far
you're
as-
sitting still.
Yeah, I'm
Now you've
trying
also
to get
got Unseen Passage, and that's the one where you can move around, if I recall.
Yes.
That one I think requires a rouse check, though.
Yeah, that
Yes,
one
it
does
does.
require route check.
Yeah. Yeah, the Cloak of Shadows is free.
Mm.
It has no cost. Its duration is 1 scene. If I read that right, yeah, 1 scene. Yeah, and it's 1 rouse check for the Unseen Passage.
And I don't think anybody gets to check against you with the Unseen Passage unless you. I mean, if you interact with something or make a lot of noise, they may get a check or it may break it.
Yeah, because it says as long as the user emits no overpowering odors, no sound louder than a whisper, this power automatically works only if the observer has their attention drawn to the user. Can they make
Okay.
a detection roll?
Now, some powers, like some disciplines may have powers that would allow them to make a check. Auspex, I know, is one.
Sentient.
Yeah, the sense of the unseen
Yeah.
can also detect the hidden vampire, as per the general rules. Note that the user cannot use this power to disappear while being actively observed. It automatically fails in such a case.
Yeah.
So, like, if I try to use it and someone's already focused on me, I don't just get to disappear.
Right. You have to duck out of sight at least.
Yeah, I at least have to get out of their line of sight to be like, and gone.
Now, remind me, how is Alexander dressed?
Again, he's in nothing too obscure, mainly in normal street clothes, jeans, shoes, kind of like, what I like to call old man shoes, just simple slide-on shoes.
Got the sliders on. Got the sliders on.
The only thing that might be odd is just the fact in which he's just wearing not a bulky coat, but like a long thin coat, kind of like a raincoat.
Okay. Does it have a hood?
Yes.
Okay. I asked because Nosferatu.
I had to think about that because I was like, wait, damn it.
Yeah. Well,
I was like,
if it was like a raincoat, though, it probably would.
Yeah.
And a Nosferatu's appearance is automatically a masquerade breach, basically, if mortals see it. But with a hood at a distance, it's not as much of a thing.
Yeah.
So almost all Nos have some kind of hoodie or something.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they're just super confident in their powers.
Sure, no.
Before they split, Joe's gonna be like, "Look, do we want to use me as bait?"
Are you suggesting we use you as bait? Why?
I look like lunch.
So do like 40 people in there.
Right, but her whole gimmick is the simple fact in which if she becomes the victim, she can then drop kick the son of a bitch.
Or I can put one of those stones on him, or I can lead him somewhere where you guys can jump him and beat the shit out of him.
But
I like
that's
that
if
idea.
But that's if he's hungry.
Or takes the bait.
Well, I think the prince might be a little pissed if we beat the shit out of someone in a Target.
There's an alleyway over there. It's fine.
Yeah, but we gotta get him to the alleyway.
Like I'm saying, he might not follow if he's not hungry.
He's hungry. I'm sure
He
he's
did
hungry.
eat the night before.
That don't mean nothing.
But unfortunately,
How
the
bad
hunger
killed
can
her.
be.
up?
Fucked him up pretty good, but he killed her, so he might not even be hungry.
It's up to y'all.
I mean, if you want to, you can. I'm not going to stop you. But I am just saying,
You would be putting
this-
yourself out there.
this does not fall through.
Although I do like that idea, Maeve. If we just like hide behind the dumpsters over there and just whoop his ass.
Alexander will just kind of extend his hand to Jolie and be like, right. Well, if you're confident in your abilities, here. Pants her one of the stones. If push comes to shove, I'll put my stone there and I'll get the other one back from you when this is all said and done.
Just kind of nods. She's like, I've been using my charm for all my natural life. Let's see if I can use it for the other bit.
Where's the doc? It's been a hot minute now.
Said he was getting a bite.
This whole conversation taking about 15 minutes.
I know.
He probably
It's
spent
taken
at
it-
least a half hour in his failed hunt, and then another half
Right.
hour waiting for somebody, because you've got some time, or before
no,
he comes
I
back.
understand that as a player. My character doesn't understand that because it takes him just like 5 seconds. Done.
Yeah, because
Well,
he has the leisure walking out to his farm and say, "Come here, Bessie."
Yes.
And she's gonna look at him and be like, not all of us have the luxury of being vegan
It's out the back door.
and eating what's on our land like that.
I mean,
We have to go hunting, so give him some time.
to be fair, I can't say nothing. Being a veterinarian, I couldn't stand the thought of really hurting anyone in the town. It was kind of against what I thought, at least when I was alive. But to be fair, there was a lot of people that had pets that weren't going to make it over the night, so when the craving hit, I saw no harm, I guess.
I mean, that's one way to put him to sleep, I guess.
Such a nice
I mean,
group of vampires.
I ate Thumper before we started all this, so it's all good.
Everybody's so nice,
I don't
except
believe
Maeve, who's a stone cold killer.
I mean,
I'm not nice. I just don't want you touching my cows, Jolene.
One, I ain't ever touched your cows. Two, I'm going shopping. And just walks.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to break for a second, but dear God, every time I hear her name uttered, I can just hear Dolly Parton.
She
Yeah,
looks
that was
identical to
intentional.
Jolene.
God. Okay.
It was intentional.
She auburn hair, green eyes, pale.
Oh. I didn't think to put that into perspective at first, but every time I've heard her name, and especially how he is pronouncing it, I'm just like, I can hear the song. I can hear it playing. Stop.
No.
So anyway, Jolene walks into the target, grabs a buggy, bright lights.
Alright, Maeve, let's go hide over here, and we'll find a spot behind I don't know, something.
Well, the dumpsters will be back behind the building.
Sure.
Let's see. The two of you would need to be out of sight.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think what would be a good hiding place at the front of a target, other than just staying in the car and watching the door.
We can do that.
That
Just
would
kind of
freak
slink
out.
out.
That would probably be the best, because I mean, there's not like there's a lot of shrubs you could hide in without being super
Right.
suspicious if somebody saw you. But staying in the car, because I'm assuming that you were all loaded up in Samuel's car,
If it's big enough, sure.
and that he probably had 2 in the front, 3 in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd hold everybody.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the windows are at least slightly tinted.
Slightly.
Well, you don't want it so much that the cops pull you over.
Well, yeah. It's not that bad, but it is fairly tinted.
Where does Alexander stake himself? Or, yeah. Bad choice of words for a vampire. Where does Alexander position himself?
Oh, let's see. Well, if I had to take a guess, he would